Well, the International Swimming League welcomes you back to Budapest for Day 2, Match 2, Season 2, ISL 2020. And the one thing that we can tell you, expect the unexpected at this point. London has almost a 100-point lead, but the battle, it is tight for second, 16 points separating second through fourth as we bring you back into the broadcast. So glad to have you with us alongside three-time Olympic gold medalist Rowdy Gaines. I'm Bernie Gunther with a story on day one. Rowdy, Olympic champions defeated. Adam Peaty, Katinka Hosszu go winless, and we had 10 first-time winners making waves.
It shows you the depth of this league, Bernie, when you have 20 individual events and half of them are first-time champions. That's why you have to bring it each and every time or you're going to get it handed to you.
Well, the story today, though, Katinka Hosszu, Adam Peaty, they are back on the pool deck, and they have probably their best events they're swimming in.
Yeah, 3 events for Katinka Hosszu, including the 100 IM, top 10 times in history. A lot of strength in that event. How about Adam Peaty, Olympic gold medalist and world record holder in the 100-meter breaststroke? That's his event today. He'll be tough in that.
Well, season 1 of ISL 2019, London finished second overall. What a start for them yesterday. They won 10 races.
Wow, and look at this, the 50 back. Christian Diener right there in the 50. He already won the 200. How about a 2-time, first-time champion in the 50? He and his teammate Guido go 1-2, and what a start there for London.
And the great news for the London Roar, they won the medley relay, and Diener, licking his chops, he's going to have a chance to go with Guido at the very end in the skins. And right now you can see why is London on top. The top 3 swimmers in the MVP standings represent the London Roar. All right, let's get it started. Day number 2, match 2, 4 points on the board for the winning team. And our first event on the pool deck is the women's 100-meter freestyle. And we get a chance to see Renomi Kromowidjojo, who earlier was very good on day number 1. The question is, can she get Team Iron going, because right now they are trying to get in that battle to get second place, which the Aqua Centurions are currently second in the standings.
Well, you would think she's the heavy favorite in this, the Olympic gold medalist from way back in 2012. Won the 50 easily, no problem with that. She's the 3rd fastest performer in history in this event, Bernie, and one of only 3 women in history to ever break 51. CDC tried it right there. A couple Americans going at it, Margot Geer and Madison Kennedy. Geer had a great split on the relay yesterday for DC Trident. Anna Hopkin might be a factor, but she was only 8th in the 50 freestyle. This looks all Kromowidjojo. In lane number 2, by the way.
And Marie Waddle, she is going to be in lane number 4. She won the 100 fly and 2 relay wins. This is an event that London won all 4 times they competed in it a season ago. Can they keep it in the bag for London Roar and get their 11th win? About to find out.
Well, I love the victory that Waddle had in that 100 butterfly. She started off so well for London, and now you're right. Iron needs this. All the teams need this except for the Roar. But, you know, when the strong are out there, Waddle right there is 4th. Kromowidjojo is 2nd. Hopkin, who I talked about a little bit a while ago, she's 24-8 going out on the 50. Nice start there for her.
Kromowidjojo and the black cap you see her nearest to us, right next to her on the inside. Anna Hopkin trying to get the win. She had a relay win yesterday. She's trying to get her first individual victory, but it's going to be Renomi starting it off. Kromowidjojo getting the win for Team Iron. And London gets 2nd and 3rd. And look at that jackpot time already. The jackpot time standard, 2.05 seconds. So all the swimmers within that margin keep their points. If you're outside that margin, they are stolen away.
Well, the crazy thing about that race, Bernie, is 2nd and 3rd, Hopkin and Waddle for London actually make more points. They get 13 points compared to 10 for Iron. So grabbing that 2nd and 3rd place, you see Kromo, no doubt, way ahead, no problem there, 52 flat. That's a great time right now. Hopkin and Waddle, both though 52 plus, That's going to be good news for them with more and more relays as we go along.
And with that win for Team Iron, they are now tied with the Aqua Centurions, tied with 203 points. Climbing up the standings, London Roar, they get across the 300 mark. As now it is time for the men's 100-meter freestyle. But first, let's go down to the pool deck and Marcus with our winner. Yeah, it's always great to have five-time Team GB Olympian Mark Foster with us. Now it is time for the men's 100-meter freestyle. Duncan Scott's going to be in lane number 4. He is the only swimmer in the field with a top 10 ISL rating in this event. You can see the number next to each swimmer. That is their overall ISL rating. Rated number 1 for Caleb Dressel, all the way down into the 400s, depending on how many points this ISL rating system believes you're going to score for your team. Again, if you're new to the ISL, 9 points for first, all the way down to just a point for 8th place.
Watch this guy, Zach Apple. He could win this, he could steal it. Had the 2 fastest splits yesterday on the relays, 400 medley relay, and then he was 45-1 on the men's free relay. Fastest split so far this whole weekend.
And the only swimmer under 46 seconds, Apple jumping out. He's going to be in the red cap at the top of the screen in lane number 7. Again, the teams paired with one another. DC Triton in 7 and 8, Aqua Centurions at 5 and 6, London Roar in 3 and 4, and the Team Iron is going to be down in 1 and 2 all match long.
22. Check that 21.9 on Apple. Looking really good going out. Nice, easy speed. Remember, he has a great 200, so the guy's not going to die whatsoever. To the right of your screen, red cap, looking real good right now for Triton.
Apple trying to get the win for DC Triton. Down to the touch, Zach Apple, he stays hot. DC gets the win.
That's a great swim for Zach Apple. 45.7. The only guy to break 46. Only 23 men in history had ever broken 46 before this race. Make it 24. Right now, make it 24 because Zach Apple becomes that 24th man ever to do it. You can see that beautiful long stroke. He gets so much out of each stroke that he takes. Never slips in the water. Keeps that head perfectly still. Second from the right. Watch him put his head down. Doesn't breathe. 4, 5, 6 strokes into the wall. Nice lean into the wall. And he knows it. Yes, sir, baby.
First time in his career, Zach Apple getting the win. And DC Triton just 1 point below the Aqua Centurions as a team. Marks with the winner, Zach Apple winning the 100 freestyle. Yeah, how about them apples? DC Triton getting their first win. Zach Apple touching first in the 100 freestyle. Right back on the pool deck here for ISL 2020, just getting started. Match 2, day 2, and Olympic champion Katinka Hosu about to come onto the pool deck. Won this event all 3 times she swam it a season ago, but man, she was tested on day 1, Rowdy.
Yeah, and she was, and she said it best earlier, the fact that, you know what, there's nothing that is a substitute for racing. You've got to race, and because she hasn't done that in 8 months, some people it doesn't affect as much. For her, no question about it. We'll see a very similar Katinka Hosu that we've seen in the past as this meet goes along. We got a long way to go, 5 weeks, but this is an event you think, well, this is an off event, doesn't have really a chance to win. She has 5 of the 10 fastest times in history. I mean, her best time here, Bernie, she's 4 seconds ahead of anybody else in this field. Lifetime best.
Who would you expect to challenge her the most? Who should we look out for?
I think Emily Large is certainly got to be one that you've got to look at. World Junior champ back in 2017. She was 2:05.4 last year, so again, she had a good swim last year. Bethany Gallett also could be a factor for DC Trident down there in lane number 1. Maybe she could feed off that energy you saw her teammate Zach Apple just do.
Well, Gallett and Katinka Hosu, as far as the ISL ratings in this event are concerned, those are the only 2 swimmers that are in the top 10, but again, it's the beginning of the season, and as we mentioned at the top of the show, expect the unexpected. That was the story yesterday.
28 plus for Golgova and Hosu, both of them teammates for Iron. Right there in front of you with your dark cap to the right of your screen. Both of them look pretty good. Katinka looks much better here than she did in the 200 IM at this point, and for that matter, the 200 backstroke. The 200 backstroke, she fell behind pretty much right away, and so you can see her all the way to the left of your screen, which is really to her advantage too, Bernie. It's sort of out of the screen right now, but on her right side right now is an empty lane, so she's got some fresh water to her right. Those outside lanes really have an advantage.
Well, we saw London win 10 events yesterday. They've yet to win on day number 2, and you mentioned Emily Large. There she is right there in the middle with the gold cap on. She is right in a dead heat as Katinka Hosu trying to push the pace here on the 350. It really burns here on the 200 fly.
Yeah, this is where racing has helped you so much, and really nobody's been there. Even in a 50, you turn at the 25, it's those people that raced are going to be a real factor, and right now, Katinka Hosu, you know, there's one reason, regardless of how it shakes out for her, there's a reason they call her the Iron Lady. Here she was, and she laid an egg in the 200 backstroke, and look at this woman go.
What a final 50. The Iron Lady trying to hold off Large and Gallett, and Katinka Hosu, she's got the 2nd win of the day for Team Iron.
Now, that's a swim of a champion.
4 for 4 in her ISL career in the 200 butterfly.
You know, she had an off day, maybe some question marks for some people. Not me, by the way. I said all along, just relax. She's going to be fine once we get going. You know, that first race, boy, it was hard to watch. But, you know, you just knew she was going to come back. I mean, there's no way this woman goes 2:01 in the 200 fly and just doesn't have something special inside her. Now, she's still got a long way to go. The time itself is not that impressive, but yes, ma'am, show those muscles. That's exactly right.
Now she won in Louisville and Budapest a season ago and in London, and for the 4th time in her career, she wins it for Team Iron. You can see DC trying Bethany Gallett helping lead the way to 12 more points, and now DC trying, they have pulled to within 10 points. As Iron, they've hopped over the Aqua Centurions after they picked up their 2nd win of the day and marched down with the winner. And rather remember, Katinka Hosu a season ago, she was the only swimmer in all of ISL to win the MVP and not win the skins. That's how dominant she can be in multiple events.
The versatility that she has is just incredible. And talk about versatility, we're going to have a lot of that here in the men's 200 version.
Well, this might be the opportunity for Andres Vazayos. He's going to be right in the middle in lane number 4. Zach Harding coming in. They call him the Beard. Stepanovic, his teammate for DC Train, they pulled within 10 points now of Team Iron. And again, on the team standings, doesn't really matter how many points London wins by. They will get 4 points if they win. 3 points for second, down to only 1 point. And there's Vazayos, comes in number 4 rated swimmer, as you can see in this event. 73 points a season ago. He was second 2 times a year ago in this event, swimming for the DC Triton. He'd love to get his first win right here.
Bernie Vazayos has the fastest lifetime of anybody in this field. In fact, he's the 10th fastest swimmer in history in this event, 150.23. Nobody's really even that close. Stepanovic down up top in lane 8 has been 151.2, but that was way back in 2013. Vazayos actually went 50.2 last year during the season.
Now look at the start for Benny Lanza, who swims with Ray Luz and was an Indiana Hoosier in his time. He's out the fastest in the first 50. He had a medal of every color when he competed last summer for the first time internationally in 2019.
Very good 100 butterflyer, has a lot of easy speed. In fact, probably the best speed of anybody in this field, including Vazayos. He won the bronze at Pan Am's a couple years ago.
Dedeos out in lane number 6, swimming for the Aqua Centurions. Remember, they had a surprising relay win yesterday. They swam very well as a team. Currently as a team, they're 3 points out of second place. Again, every point matters for your team.
And again, the rich get richer here with Lanza and Vazayos. Vazayos was 5th at the 50. He moved up to 3rd in the 100.
And it looks like Vazayos is starting to make his move on the third 50. He is within a half a second. Here we go. Lanza leading Dedeus by 4/100ths of a second. Lanza picking it up. Vazayos picking it up, and they will turn almost even with 25 meters to go.
Yeah, you see Lanza kind of going up and down a little bit, but he was good off that last turn. He stayed underwater quite a while, and now here he goes.
Lanza is going to hold off the field, a wire-to-wire win, his first win in ISL history, and for London, they go 1st and 3rd.
Big points again.
10 wins yesterday for London. Lanza gives him their first, as the London Roar still in the lead.
Check that one. Roar there, 15 points. Centurions 12, 9-6 in the Triton 4.
What a start indeed for London yesterday, winning 10 races. We just saw them pick up their first win here on day number 2, and they lead it by over 100 points. Again, the winning team taking home 4 points. Only 8 teams out of the 10 will qualify for the semifinals in the middle of November, and maybe a little bit of a preview of the skins here, Rowdy. 100 backstroke onto the pool deck. Yesterday, the day belonged to the DC Triton. Mac is going to be in lane number 8, Bilquist in lane number 7, and those are both of the winners yesterday.
Well, what's strange about that, and it's a late change. Mac is now out. Can you believe that? She won the 50 backstroke yesterday, certainly by having so much speed in that, but they took her out. DC Triton has said, we have got to save everything we can for that 50 back and skins. You can guarantee that she'll be in the skins in the 50 back at the end, but I think that's her lone event, and that's a bit of a shocker here because she had a chance to win the 100 backstroke.
Yeah, so it's Allie Dahlier who's going to go in to the contest here, and again, it's all about tactics. Just trying to make sure you're as ready to go as you possibly can for the skins.
And I don't think that's a bad strategy. You know, maybe it would have taken out just enough off her and take that edge off in the 50 backstroke. And DC Triton desperately wants to win that. You see Caitlin Sandino, the GM for DC Triton. There's Amy Bilquist right there. She's got a shot. She was first in the 200 backstroke, so now the winner of the 50 back is not in there, but Toussaint could be a huge factor. She was second in the 200 and third in the 50. Nobody else put those two together like Toussaint.
Well, Toussaint was the European short course champion of both the 50 back and the 100 back, and she is pushing the pace of the first 50, Rowdy.
Ooh, big time. Look at that nice, easy early lead. Wow, 26.9 going out on the feet. Nobody even close, 0.8 of a second ahead of everybody else.
Right behind her teammate Kathleen Dawson. She's thinking jackpot. The jackpot time in this event, 2.2 seconds. So that is the margin that you have to be within the winner, or else Toussaint is going to steal away the points. Look at this. Toussaint, she's going to lead a huge win here, and how many points is she gonna take?
Wow, you know, that is a quick time, 56.24. That is the second fastest time thus far in the league. Only Olivia Smoliga has been faster for Cali Condors. You can see the start right coming at you. Great quick undulation, that dolphin kick, so critical to the backstroke. Most of these women will spend 40, 45 meters underwater, and then watch Toussaint. Nice shallow at the end, and then straight into the wall. She doesn't come back over, she just throws her hand straight into the wall. Nice swim for London, and she knows it.
Jackpot indeed, first and second for London. They scored 26 points, snatching away points from the bottom finishers. And look at that. They have now built almost a 130-point lead, and things, though, still very tight in the field for second place. Iron 234, Centurions 232, DC's Triton still in the mix with 223. As we get a chance to see Guido and Diener battle once again. This is an event that London won 3 times a season ago. Was Guido winning all 3 times, but does Diener have a chance to snatch it from him once again here?
I think he's got a great chance. He won the 200 and the 50, so you would think this would be the perfect marriage for Diener at this point anyway. Guido, he's been 49.4, but Diener's also been under 50 as well. Only 2 swimmers in this field to have broken 50 seconds. And guess what? They swim for London and their teammates.
And certainly goes without a doubt, this is the reason why you see the men picking backstroke skins. I think that there was probably no doubt that this was the right question. Obviously some people questioning why we're going to see women's 50 backstroke skins, but we'll see how it all plays out for London later.
Based on what you just saw from Toussaint.
They look pretty good, right?
Yeah, right. That's why those coaches are much smarter than us. Much smarter, by the way. Much smarter than you, anyway.
I hear you there. We had the ISL record holder and Guido in the middle. He set the ISL record a season ago at the ISL Championships in Las Vegas, won 49.50.
Did it on the biggest stage, and boy, that was a great race. I remember watching that one. Kolesnikov, 3 100s behind him. Relov, 5 100s behind him. Shapes up to be another great race here in the ISL as we head into the final here at the middle of November.
Basetto second at the turn. Everybody's chasing Guido. He has picked up his pace from the 50 yesterday, jumped out into the lead, and he leads with 25 meters to go.
Hey, you know, I'm surprised that Diener isn't closer. Guido's making this look easy.
Guido's gonna get the win, but London goes 1-3, and it's another jackpot going the way of the London Roar. They're cashing in here on the backstroke. They'll steal away 3 more points.
Yeah, 23-9 going out. Excuse me, 23-6 going out, 26-2. So Guido goes out faster than anybody else, and then Diener comes back faster than anybody else. 25-9 on the way back. Diener just misses getting second, almost to 1-2 again, but hey, they'll take 1-3. When you're 18,000 points ahead, 1-3 will do just fine.
4th time in his career, Guido winning the 100 backstroke here in the ISL. Check out those points. Jackpot in play. And London climbing up to 379 points now. Iron in second. Aqua Centurions 7 points ahead of the DC Triton in this 3rd spot at the moment. And Guido's won the 100 backstroke for the 4th time. Mark's down with him. Well, by the way, Diener is still leading our MVP race as we turn our attention to the Women's 100 IM. Again, the top 3 in the MVP battle split $20,000, so that's a big reason to be there. And at the moment, the teammates are going to be splitting it among themselves because the top 3 in the MVP battle, all representing the London Roar, get a chance to see Katika Hosu, who won the 200 butterfly, now swim the 100 IM. She's going to be at the bottom of your screen in lane number 1. Atkinson in 3.
See how much the 200 fly took out of Hosu. Atkinson comes in fresh, but Hosu has the top 13 times in history. 8 times she's been under 57. Nobody else can say that. Atkinson is the 10th fastest swimmer in history. If she can somehow keep it close, she's 3 from the left. If she can keep it just a little bit close to Hosu, who's all the way to the far left, she might have a chance only because she's such a good breaststroke.
Kamenova in the lead, 26.3 at the first 50. Let's see what happens though here on the breaststroke leg. Laukkanen in lane number 2 with the black cap. She's moving up. She's a breaststroker. She is going to pull even. And here we go, final 25. Laukkanen, Kamenova, neck and neck, and now Alia Atkinson trying to move up as well in lane number 3. Atkinson making a surge, and man, is this going to be tight. Who will it be? Kamenova leading 1-2 for London.
Look at that. Would you look at Kamenova? 58.86. Again, it's a bit of a shocker, but it shows that the 200 fly really took it out of Hosu because she just really never was in it. Ended up fourth right there. What a great race between Kamenova and Atkinson. Atkinson certainly did it on the breaststroke, but Kamenova did it on the butterfly and the backstroke. 11/100ths of a second. And then only 18/100ths of a second separated first through third.
Yeah, Rowdy, sometimes that has to be the strategy in IM, especially when you have Allie Atkinson, world record holder in the breast. Get out fast and let everybody try to track you down after that first 50.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Atkinson did as much as she could to put herself in position right there in the middle of those three swimmers that are out in front, and that's what 18/100ths of a second looks like.
Well, London, 10 wins yesterday. They already have 4 wins today. And in the team battle, you can see the Iron clinging to that number 2 spot. London Iron, Aqua Centurions, DC Trident. Iron maybe starting to get a little bit of separation from the bottom 2 teams here in match number 2. All right, men's turn now. Men's 100 IM onto the pool deck, and this was a very good event yesterday for the Aqua Centurions. They had 4 wins, including a relay win, and Philip Hines returns. He's going to be right there in lane number 5. You can see the numbers next to the swimmers. Vazaios is the highest rated swimmer overall in this event, rated number 32, and there is no ISO rating yet in this event. Caleb Dressel won, and he set the ISO record going 51.36, the first time ever this event was competed just 2 days ago.
3 guys have been under 52 here. Actually, Orsi leads the way at 51 flat. Did that a couple years ago. Heinz 4 years ago went 51.7, and Vazaios just last year went 51.6. Heinz won the 100 IM. This is all about the turns. You've got to be able to have momentum into and out of each turn. One long turn will certainly cost you the race here.
And how about the turnaround for Benny Lanza? We just saw him win the 200 butterfly just like Katinka Hosu, but early on, Orsi down at the bottom in lane number 2, 3/10 his lead over Heinz and Vazaios.
23.5 at the 50 for Orsi, looking real good in the breaststroke. Again, he comes in with the fastest time of anybody else in this group.
Oh, look at the lead. Orsi trying to do it for Team Iron. He's got a full body length lead. 2 seconds, the jackpot time. He wins it 51.69. Let's check out how many points he steals away. It looks like the jackpot time rule only cashing in 1 extra point, but the Iron will take it.
Yeah, definitely. It actually steals his teammates' point, which really doesn't matter. But you know, they finished 1st and 8th. That can't hurt. But you know, London, you know, finishes 2nd and 7th. It really was spread out. Orsi, so good, all 4 strokes. He's won 20 overall medals at the European Short Course Championships during his career. And he's a great freestyler. He's won the 100 freestyle before at those European Championships.
10 big ones for Team Iron. They've got their 2nd win of the day. Still holding on, number 2. Well, the ISL 2020 is just getting started here in Budapest. Join us next Saturday. Two newest teams, Tokyo Frog Kings, Toronto Titans. They join the party as they battle against the Aqua Centurions and LA. It'll be 12 local, 7 in Japan, and 6 a.m. Eastern, where you can watch week 2 of ISL 2020 continue.
Period of play underway. Second ball game match 2. Next for the winners, 200 meters freestyle. In lanes 1 and 2 for the team Iron.
All right, back here for ISL 2020 match number 2. Back onto the pool deck we go with the women's 200-meter freestyle. The Aqua Centurions right now finding themselves without Federica Pellegrini, who tested positive for COVID-19 and couldn't yet make the journey over. They're hoping that she can join the team for some later matches. And so that makes this event a little bit more wide open. We saw Siobhan Hagi win this event for Energy Standard in match number 1. Who's it going to go down to here, Rowdy?
Well, Hagi really set the standard, 151.6, 7th fastest time in history. Don't think anybody can get close to that time, but Siobhan O'Connor, at least on paper, you know, that's all we have to go with right now. Certainly nothing this year that is substantial, but 153.8 she's been. Was part of that winning free relay for women in the 400. Waddle, 3rd in the 100 earlier, won the 100 fly yesterday. That's a good matchup right there.
And we saw Valentine Dumont get a win in the 400 freestyle. So 1 down in the 100 butterfly, 1 up in the 400 freestyle. They'll find themselves in the middle here in the 200 freestyle. The only swimmer rated in the top 10 in the ISL ratings is Andrushenko at the bottom of the screen in lane number 1 in the black cap for Team Iron.
One thing you want to try to do here in a 200, if you haven't raced in a long time, is kind of just feel your legs that first 50, lay off of them, kind of build, have a building feeling that first 100, and then when you flip at the halfway point coming up after this 75 mark, this is 75, after the 100 mark, if you can feel that third 50, that's where you want to try to have some sort of separation.
Waddle, the 100 winner, trying to get the 5th win of the day for the London Roar. We saw London win 10 times yesterday. They've got a huge lead, almost 150 points their lead now. They're the only team across that 400 mark.
Boy, that catch is the most important part of your stroke right here. You just try to maximize that surface area as much as possible. And you can see Waddle doing that with that long reach out front. You see how she just kind of feels that water with each entry stroke, maintains that pressure on that forearm and hand. She's breathing to her right now so she can kind of check out Andrushenko down at the bottom.
There she is, Andrushenko. There they go, turning the race down to the wire. Andrushenko, Waddles led this race the entire way. They go to their feet. Dumont now trying to move up for the Aqua Centurions, trying to get her 2nd win. But it's gonna be Waddle doing it again. London, 5 wins now.
They are relentless. And they have so many different weapons. I mean, look at Waddle. I mean, wins the 100 fly, 3rd in the 100 freestyle. And it's not that big name. It's not an Adam Peaty name-wise, but this is why the depth is so crucial and critical for each and one of these teams, certainly at the top. 55.8, by the way, going out that first 100. And then she's back in 58.7. That is just exactly the way you want to swim that 100 freestyle. Have a building feeling that first 100. She kind of got after that 3rd 50. There are a couple swimmers that actually swam better than her the last 50, but by that time, Bernie, she had built a big enough lead and won it.
Well, the battle continues between 2nd through 4th. London tacks on 17 more points as they climb out of 422 points as a team. But the DC Triton, they could use a win. Next event on the pool deck, they got a couple of good swimmers in the field. Zane Grothy's going to be an 8. Zach Apple, who we already saw get a win earlier in the 100 free, get a battle against Bruno Carrera of the Aqua Centurions. Bruno won this event in Indianapolis and in Naples, so he has certainly seen some wins. You see that he's rated as the 70th best swimmer in the ISL. Duncan Scott, by the way, bronze at the World Championships in the 200 freestyle. He's going to be in lane number 4. And I know Mark Foster really feels like Duncan Scott roared, for lack of a better term, onto the scene last year in the ISL.
Yeah, I was talking to Mark earlier, and he just, you know, he loves Duncan Scott. He loves the ability and certainly the capability of what he's been able to do and to do in the future. But, you know, he hasn't looked very sharp early on. He hasn't got into that kind of that racing shape yet. Again, he's sort of like Katinka Hosu, that I think he'll get better and better as this meet goes along.
When he saw his race rating, 128th, and that's because this team was loaded a year ago. It was either Alex Graham or Elijah Whittington in the field in every match that London competed in. So, believe it or not, Duncan Scott didn't get a chance to swim the 200 freestyle. It's a little bit of a misnomer because he may be one of the best 200 freestylers in all the ISL this year.
Sure, I mean, think about what he did last year. He was ranked 1st in the world in this event and didn't even swim it in the ISL. And you were saying to me earlier, it's all about matchups, where we need you in different events, and for some reason or another, London didn't need Duncan Scott in this particular race. They don't need him today either, by the way.
You got to throw the ego out the window, that's for sure. And you see, good start. Santos pushed the pace the first 75, but now Duncan Scott has taken the lead, leading by 1/10 of a second.
And looking like Duncan Scott right now, and now he's looking like Mark's boy. 40.9 is his best time, and again, that is the 8th fastest time in history. He was 3rd at the 50, 24.3. Now he's 1st at the 100, 50.2. 26.1 on that 50 right there. That's about 0.3 of a second faster than anybody else.
And he's pulling along his teammate Vukovashev, who's right below him in lane number 3. Duncan Scott, he's never won an individual event in this 200 freestyle, trying to get his first 200 ISL. Zach Apple pushing home. Can Zach Apple get him? Oh, Scott, he holds him off by 0.2 of a second. That was an unbelievable last 25 by Zach Apple.
What?
Lane number 7.
What a charge by Zach Apple. He is having one of those meets that you dream of. No doubt, Duncan Scott, for 178 meters, looked like the guy to beat. But then all of a sudden you started seeing Apple starting to move up, move up. Scott looked in complete control, but look to the right of your screen. He still doesn't look like he has a chance, but oh my gosh, he almost caught him. What a swim by Zach Apple. That is his lifetime best. So he does it in the 100 free, and now he does it in the 200 free. This guy's gonna be a force to be reckoned with as we move along in the ISL season.
Yeah, Apple was the only swimmer in the field under 26 seconds. That final 50 comes home in 25.5, but Duncan Scott, another win for the London Roar. Their 6th win of the day, 16 wins now in the match. And what a competition for London, running away, trying to get 4 points as Duncan Scott adds to their total. All right, next here in Budapest, 50 fly, Bernie Gunther, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, Rowdy Gaines with you. Some big time races upcoming, including Adam Peaty getting his turn in the 100 breaststroke. That's our next event on the slate. But first, check out our start list here in the 50 butterfly. Kromowidjojo, who we already saw get a win earlier to start the day, Rowdy. She had a very impressive start as she began the day with a win in the 100 freestyle. She's going to get a turn at the bottom of lane number 1, but maybe her teammate may be the one to beat.
Yeah, she comes in with the second fastest time of anybody in this field, 24:56. They're all chasing Vero Gastadello, who broke the ISL record a couple of days ago when they're the first group, 24:75. So that's the time standards that's been set. Kromowidjojo, you know, not a lot of people think of her as a butterflyer, but she has 4 of the 10 fastest times in history.
Kromowidjojo, she won the 50 free. Aniek finished second. They're once again right next to one another, bottom of the screen, the Black Caps, and they are jumping out here quickly the first 25.
Boy, Aniek just has that quick turnover, but look at the turn by Kromowidjojo. Came up and swam a little bit sooner than Aniek.
Kromowidjojo did not win the butterfly a year ago, and she wins it here, and it is another big 1-2 finish for Team Iron, trying to separate themselves from the DC Triton for third.
And lots of jackpot points there. Breaks the ISL record by 1/100th of a second that Gastadello set just a couple of days ago, and that becomes the 8th fastest time in history, right to the right of your screen. And Iron really needed that race now. 1-2 for both of them. Watch the finish. And she could have been faster because she was tight on the wall. Watch, she kind of half strokes it into the wall, but it just didn't matter. I mean, she still wins it going away. And that's a big smile, and worthy of a big smile in that race.
Ranomi cashing in jackpot at home. Well, the only 2 teams to score, the Iron and the DC Triton. And the Iron inching closer. DC moving now into third after that big win, and now it's time for the men's 50 butterfly onto the pool deck, and Sebastian Szabo is going to be in lane number 6. He's the second-rated ISL swimmer in this event. DC Triton, they could really use a win. Giles Smith is going to be out in lane number 8, the 9th-rated ISL swimmer.
World record holder is actually in this race, and you don't hear much about him yet. You hear about Lanza and Szabo.
Santos is going to be down in lane number 1. Set the world record in 2018, going 21:75. Bronze at the World Championships in the 50 fly. And by the way, Vinny Lanza is kind of the Iron Man, if you will. 200 fly, 100 IM, and now making an appearance in the 50 butterfly. That's ISL swimming for you. You got to be ready to swim a bunch of races over the course of 2 hours. You got to be fit. There's Santos.
Boy, he is a beast, man. Look at that guy. Holy. He is 40 years old. Unbelievable career for this man. 40 years old, and he broke the world record when he was 38, and still going strong. The oldest man in this entire competition, and just look at him. They still can get off that block. Look at that, 0.63 for a 40-year-old man to get off the block, Bernie.
But all eyes have got to be on Szabo. He won the 100 fly, second in the 50. He's the first of the turn, and the white cap at the top of the screen with Santos trying to track him down. Szabo trying to get the win for the Aqua Centurions. He's going to do it. Santos finishes second. Oh, big time jackpot for the Aqua Centurions there. Szabo, this is huge. 19 points.
And the reason why was 22 flat. He becomes the fifth fastest swimmer in history. He breaks Caleb Dressel's ISL record. And Santos was spectacular at 22:38 for the 40-year-old guy. He got in there and got second for Iron, but this was all Szabo. Wow, goes his lifetime best. He was here to swim the 50-meter butterfly.
24 points for the Aqua Centurions, trying to catch up to Team Iron and give themselves a little separation with a DC Triton. Szabo coming through in a big way. He's won the 100 butterfly. He's now won the 50. When we come back, breaststroke time. Alia Atkinson for the London Roar. Can she get another victory? And her teammate, Adam Peaty, Olympic champion. Those two are still to come when we come back to Budapest. There he is, backstage, Olympic champion Adam Peaty, cap on. He looks locked in. We're a race away from seeing him go in his biggest event, the 100 breaststroke. But first onto the pool deck, women's turn in the 100 breaststroke. And London has just as good of a participant in Alia Atkinson, who's going to be in lane number 4. She won the 50. She helped the team choose the skin with her wins in the medley relay. And what is she going to do for an encore here? She might get tested by Annie Laser, her teammate, who's just below her.
Well, Laser wins the 200 breast. Atkinson wins the 50. So they come together here, but boy, you really like the speed of Atkinson. Laser was only 8th in the 50 breaststroke. Carraro, there's another one that's going to be a big factor. She was 4th in the 200 and 3rd in the 100. She's got a chance here. Atkinson, the co-world record holder. She has that with Melatite, who is now retired from the sport, but no one in this field has even broken 104 before. Her best time, 102.3.
Well, Carraro was the European short course champion. She won gold in 2019 in this event. How about Pilato, Italian breaststrokers, Rowdy? She had a heck of a showing for Energy Standard in match number 1. But early on, it looks like Atkinson pushing the pace right away. Halko down in lane number 2, the only one that's chasing her within range.
30.2 going out, not quite as quick as Lily King went out when she went 103.1 to win a couple of days ago. There are 2 or 3 swimmers that are close to her. Not running away with this, that's for sure.
Atkinson turning first, trying to get her second win. She was hopeful that she would have a chance to do breaststroke skins. She'll have to settle for trying to get a win here. Carraro trying to push up down the stretch right next to her in lane number 5, but Atkinson pulls her off by 0.2 of a second. 104.21 for Atkinson, getting the 7th win of the day. 1 added point on the jackpot, so she'll score 10 points for that win.
You know, it was close. There's no question about it. As you see her right before that race, she was locked and loaded. As she goes into this turn, if you look at the splits, 30.2 going out right there. So she's way ahead at the 50. But you know what? Her second 50 was also faster than anybody else. That was actually the finish. So it was her first 50 that was fastest and her second 50. So really she put together one solid race.
Look at that. It's all about the team, right? Aqua Centurions actually outscore the London Roar by 1 point in that event. And as they table the totals, Centurions still trailing the Team Iron by 21 points, just a point away from getting to 300. All right, it is time to welcome Adam Peaty back onto the pool deck. Peaty, will he redeem himself? We saw him with a great 200 breaststroke yesterday, second in the 50. I thought he had great closing speed, Rowdy, but this is a really good field. 5 swimmers rated in the top 10 in the ISL battling against him. It's not in the bag.
No, it certainly isn't. I mean, here's Saki, who really took it to him 0.3 of a second faster than Peaty, but this is Adam Peaty. He's got the 18 fastest times in history in the long course version of this event. Does not have a world record, though, in any breaststroke event. And I know at some point, I have a feeling this is going to go down for Adam Peaty. He's the 3rd fastest swimmer in history. And you know what, he was charging, wasn't he, in that 200 breaststroke? Rare to see Adam Peaty charge at the end of a 200, but he was.
So Caitlin Sandino watching the Infinity, won this event in College Park. There's the 3. There's Saki, who won the 50 breaststroke. His teammate Pragoda right next to him in lane number 3. He won the 200, but can Adam Peaty, who won this event 3 times a season ago, get his 4th ISL win? He's going to be right in the middle in lane number 4.
Pragoda has the world record in the 200, so you know he's going to have great closing speed. If he's going to be close to Peaty, I give him a chance.
The Infinity looking good in the top in lane number 7. Peaty in the middle. Saki on the bottom in the black cap. This is a loaded field, folks. All sorts of great breaststrokers in this one, including Martineghi for Aqua Centurions. Peaty turning first. Only 7 100s in front of Martineghi.
26.3 at the turn. And again, just like Atkinson, the world record holder, he's not running away with it. In fact, he's got a race.
Aqua Centurions, Martineghi in lane number 6 in the white cap, battling against Adam Peaty. Pragoda trying to move up as well, but Peaty, can he hold off Saki down in lane 1? He can! Adam Peaty, his 4th win in his ISL career in the 100 breaststroke.
And that's what you need. You need a win, just like Katika Hosu. A lot of people were giving up on her. He's not real happy with the time. That's why you don't see a lot of emotion on his face. He may not be happy with the time, but here it's all about winning. It's not the clock, especially early on in the season. It's sort of like we're playing this 16-game schedule that the NFL does, Bernie, and we're the first 2 or 3 games right now. So everybody's kind of finding their way on how to race each and every single event. He is so good on the turns, though. And, you know, he wins this, not necessarily going away, but 26.3, 30 flat. Faster going out than anybody else, faster coming home than anybody else.
Well, after second twice yesterday, Adam Peaty, his first win of ISL 2020 as an individual. And for the 4th time in his career, he has won his signature event, the 100-meter breaststroke. Big time swim for Adam Peaty, who's down on the pool deck with Mark.
So after the on our second period play and final day of
Adam Peaty getting the win. First opportunity for double points, 4x100 mixed freestyle relay. Again, 9 points for a win on an individual event, 18 points for a relay win, and DC Triton currently fourth. I would love to see if Zach Apple can pull a little relay magic like he had earlier. He's got another big day.
Huge day. Just a huge day for Apple. Interesting to note that Chroma Bajoyo is not on a relay, is not on this mixed relay. They're going to save her for the skins at the end, the 50 backstroke, which is coming up shortly.
Apple set to lead things off at the top in lane number 7.
You see all the men will go first. Reason for that, again, is to give the women a little bit of breathing room so they don't have to fight through all that chop.
Maxim Lobanowski, we saw him win the 50 freestyle. He is swimming well at the bottom. Team Iron currently second with 326 points. You can see the team scores at the bottom. 16 points separating second and third. It's an extra point for your team. If you can finish third, you get 3 points as opposed to only 2 points for second. Apple's going to lead the way.
Yep, Apple up there in lane number 7. Red cap doing just what he did in the individual 100, and he goes under 46 again, 45.9. Nice, solid double 100 freestyle for Zach Apple.
Folks will call that pretty good consistency. Robert Howard now into the pool for the DC Triton. He's on the right side of the screen in the red cap.
Smart strategy for him. He's moved over next to the lane line, not to give anybody a chance to get any kind of draft off of him. At least mentally, not sure you can really catch draft these days with these kinds of lane lines, but he's breathing to his right now so he can kind of see everybody. You can see the field starting to creep up on him. Big change, though, coming up with these women.
Halfway home, Margot Greer is going to swim the third leg for DC Triton, but the Aqua Centurions, they are now in the lead. DeMont diving into the pool in lane number 5.
Oh, what a spectacular split for Moresi. He was 45.7 there. 45.7. Howard slipped to 47 flat. He actually went faster than he did on the relay yesterday, so they're still right there tight with him.
Again, Aqua Centurions, DC Triton, those two teams battling it out. Third and fourth position right now. Aqua 310, DC Triton 273. Relays worth double points. DC Triton, they would love to get a relay win here.
Margot Gear has had some of the most amazing relay swims in United States history, so you can tell she loves the relays. Without question, she's actually going to give DC Triton the lead.
All right, Perry diving into the pool in lane number 7.
52.7 there. Hopkin 52 flat for the Roar. Kind of brought them back into the mix, didn't she?
Yeah, and Larissa Oliveira swimming the anchor leg. Waddle swimming the anchor leg for the London Roar, but Perry on top. DC Triton eyeing 18 points. Let's see how big their lead is. Almost a full second, Rowdy.
Kylie Perry, very good right there at the 50 mark. Still giving herself a little bit of breathing room, but here they come.
Waddle, Oliveira, Aqua Centurions, London Roar. London charging. Perry trying to hold on.
She's gonna hang on.
It is DC Triton getting the win. Waddle moves London into second. Caitlin Sandino, she is fired up.
You think? Oh boy, 53-1 on the end for Kylie Perry, and it's just what DC Triton needed. And everybody's pointing at Zach Apple, but that was a team effort.
DC trying another relay win, but how about Adam Peaty? Fourth time in his early ISL career, he's the champion of 100 breaststroke.
try to still keep themselves a little bit of hope and get them out in those series races. Take a look at the MVP. Player standings, one who played the go forward, Jojo Green, brilliant. Two there, Sato, also on the corner, the runner to Song, big chances, those things to come. Really be rebel in that MVP box. So don't go too far away. I'm third and final period of play coming up, just under 5 minutes time. The women's advance 400 IM, and we finish it off with those women's advance 50 metre service hands in that soon.
MVP standings, Ranomi Corviglio did not swim the relay. We'll see her go in the skins. She currently leads Sabo, but by the narrowest of margins. More to come, 400 IM in the backstroke skins with London on top here on day number 2. All right, it comes down to this final day of match number 2. Still a big lead for the London Roar, 140 plus points over Team Iron, but a lot can happen here down the stretch. Men's and women's 400 IM, and of course the backstroke skins to decide it. There she is, Iron Lady on the left side of the screen. Katinka Hosu is going to be in lane number 1, the Olympic champion in this event. She won this event 3 times. All 3 times she competed in it a year ago. Sydney Pickram, she won the 200 IM. 3rd rated swimmer in this event. She's going to be in lane number 4. Pretty good double for Dumont, back onto the pool deck to compete in this 400 IM. Again, think about the training that it takes for these athletes to be able to swim a 400 IM as not just the only event in a couple of hours, but these guys are swimming multiple events over the course of 2 hours. The DC Triton coming off that relay win in the mixed 4x100, hoping that Bailey Anderson or Bethany Gallett can help lead them to victory, but likely Katinka Hosu, Sydney Pickram, you see their ISO rating 2nd and 4th in this event. Those 2 expected to challenge one another in a big way here in the 400 IM.
Interesting that Pickram and Dumont just got out of the mixed relay literally 11 minutes ago. So they certainly have not had a long time to warm down and get loose for this race. Dumont, by the way, was 53.3. Pickram was part of the 8th place relay. She anchored in at 55.5, so she might have let up on purpose to get ready for this one.
Yet, of course, that goes into the strategy, Roddy, of, I mean, let's be honest, 100 freestyle, you're still really pushing the pedal on that one,
yeah.
And then the turnaround, not getting virtually any warm down because you got to be in the call room. That's difficult.
It is, and I think for, again, most of these athletes, especially Pickram, she's used to this in the collegiate format, so she's been here where she's had many times during her career at Texas A&M where she only had 10 or 15 minutes to get ready for the next event.
How about this start for Bethany Gallett out in lane number 8, silver medalist in the 200 breast at the Pan American Games. Obviously, she's going to have a great breaststroke leg, but really looks smooth there on the opening 100 in butterfly.
Yeah, she also won silver at the World Championships a couple years ago, back in 2017. Hosu looked pretty good on the fly. Her fly has certainly looked great here. I think what's really affected her the most, at least in the 100 and 200 IMs, with the breaststroke. That's where she's really come back on the field. And really one of her big strengths in winning the Olympic gold medal and so many world championships was her breaststroke. So it used to be a long time ago a very weak stroke for her. It became a very good stroke for her, but she's kind of come back on the breast, but still looking pretty good in the 400 IM. And, you know, before this race, I can't believe I would even say that I would not pick Katinka Hosu. I mean, she's broken the world record 7 times, 2nd fastest in history. Yet just based on that 100 IM, you know, she's just all over the map. Great 200 fly, doesn't have a lot of speed in the 100, not so hot in the 200 IM, but here she is leading, Bernie.
Yeah, what a change on that 100 backstroke. Gallett comes from right in the race, moving to 4th. Wilmot pushes up. She's now currently swimming 2nd. And again, that's the strategy, because we thought Sydney Pickram would be right here in the mix, Roddy, and she's really nowhere to be found as far as being in contention to try to win this race. It's Hosu and Wilmot, those 2 battling it out. Anderson moving up in lane number 7 for the DC Triton.
And again, I'm not sure why they would put Sydney Pickram on the relay. It just, you know, knowing how good she is in the 400 IM and such a chance to win it. She was on the B relay actually for him. Same thing with Dumont.
Wilmot, Commonwealth champion in 2018 in the 400 IM, an Olympic finalist in this event. She is pulled even with the Iron Lady, as has Bailey Anderson in the red cap. You can see her at the top of the screen out there in lane number 7. Gallant trying to make her move as well. She's moved into 4th, but still a long way to go. 100 meters left, and Hosu trailing by 4 100ths.
Yeah, 38.7, 39.4 on that second 50 of her breaststroke. So now she's got to go to another great stroke for her, and that is freestyle. That's where she's been able to win a lot of close swims in the 400 IM is her freestyle. She's been able to go to that as a strong stroke.
Katinka Hosu trying to get another win for Team Iron. She looks good. Now has built a full second lead over Anderson out in lane number 7.
This is, again, just a matter of finding out where you belong in this whole mix of what this 8-month layoff has done to you. And you just got to feel like she has a hit and then a miss and then a hit and then a miss, and now she's hitting it again.
Anderson trying to charge into second, but Katinka Hosu, who won the 200 fly, wins the 400 IM. 4:30.52. Anderson will finish second, and Wilmot falls to 3rd for the London Roar. DC trying 2nd and 4th in that event.
Again, you throw the clock out the window because that time is actually 6 seconds slower than what Melanie Margalis went a couple of days ago. But boy, this is just all about getting your hand on the wall first. And for Katinka Hosu, arguably the greatest all-around swimmer on the women's side in history. Still think Katie Ledecky's the greatest swimmer in history, but maybe the best all-around. You can't argue with Katinka Hosu, and what she's been able to do here, it's pretty impressive. Just the mental part of things.
Iron Lady indeed. Every time she has entered the 400 IM in her ISL career, she's been victorious. 15 points for Team Iron as a team, 12 points for the DC Triton. And Iron still leading the Aqua Centurions. Oh, it is so close for second though, ahead by 24 points. What a tough swim there for Katinka Hosu. Perfect indeed, Katinka Hosu down on the pool deck with Mark Foster. All right, 400 IM on the pool deck. Duncan Scott going for his second ISL win. He's going to be in the middle in lane number 4. Sixth rated swimmer in this event.
Yep, Scott's the only guy that's ever broken 4 minutes in this field. In fact, has the 10th fastest time in history. He was kind of dragged along when Diaceto set the world record last year in the ISL finals.
And a reminder, how about the Tokyo Frog Kings? They are going to make their ISL debut next Saturday. It's going to be actually local time noon, 6 a.m. breakfast in Budapest if you're watching in the United States. And we're going to get to see the Tokyo Frog Kings and the Toronto Titans do battle with the Aqua Centurions and the LA Current as we begin week number 2 of the ISL season. Again, couple of weeks for everybody to try to go head-to-head. Only 8 teams are going to make it to the semifinals, and we'll have the finals for you right here in our Budapest bubble, November 21st and 22nd. Santos, the leader by a second and a half after the first 100 butterfly.
54.6 on the way out. He's got a great freestyle, and he'll come back in the middle of this race to the field. But if he's close with 100 meters left, he'll have a good shot. Same thing with Duncan Scott, obviously. 3:59.8, as I said last year. Verasso, way up there in lane number 1, has been 4:00.01. He did that way back in 2009, though. Santos won the 400 IM bronze medal at the Pan Am Games back in 2019. This is a great race for him. He can also swim a great 400 freestyle. In fact, Bernie, he was 7th in the 400 freestyle yesterday.
Halfway home, Santos on the left side of the screen in lane number 2, the leader. Still about a 1.5 second lead over the rest of the field. Verasto, his teammate, trying to move up.
He moved up, he certainly did in that backstroke. Moved up a couple of spots to 3rd. Zayos still kind of hanging in there 5th. Scott's hanging in there. Breaststroke, his worst stroke, without question. Body length behind is about as much as you want to be behind anybody in this field if you're Duncan Scott. Anything a body length or less, he might have a chance. David Revine and BC Trident, also great backstroker and good freestyler.
Well, Verasto is going to have a chance to be the leader. He turns 4th length of breaststroke, right even with Santos.
Well, he's a great breaststroker and freestyler as well. He was 7th in the 200 breaststroke and 5th in the 400 freestyle. So you've got 2 guys here that are really good freestylers. Right now, Duncan Scott's not going to win this race. He's just too far back.
And this could be big. Team Iron again. They find themselves just ahead of the Aqua Centurions by 24 points. They would love to finish 2nd overall and earn 3 points as a team. Cali Condors took the first match, so 2nd would mean they'd have the same amount of points as the defending champions, Energy Standard, who finished 2nd in the first match.
Verasto looking like his old self right here, the 2-time World Championship silver medalist from 15 and 17, just pouring it on right now to the left side of your screen, right in front of you.
Dare I say, a blast from the past. Iron, they go 1, 2. Verasto and Santos, 4:04.25, 4:07.90. Team Iron surging, but you don't want to miss this. The skins are next, and anything can happen.
Especially here at home, it's one of our favourite events of last year here in Isl Budapest. And really show what they can do, their best, and
All right, we are about to decide who is going to take it here in match number 2. Time for the skins. London Roar won the relay. They picked backstroke, and here we go. Look at this field. Renomi Yo-Yo, she's got a chance to be the MVP. She's going to be down in lane number 1. You'd think that London felt pretty good about what they bring to the table. Trissant's going to be in lane number 4. You'd think that she would be the favorite for them.
Well, they did finish 2nd and 3rd, and they were very close behind Mack as the winner. Kamenova was 26.35, Toussaint a little bit further back at 26.6, but she won the 100 back, making it look easy. So I think in the long run, we're going to look back on this and have it be a really smart decision for London to pick this event.
And
a lot
how
of people
about
thought
Mack?
they were going to pick Atkinson in the 50 breast.
We saw Mack get rested, didn't swim. The 100 backstroke, she is fresh, she is ready. She won the 50 backstroke. She's going to be out in lane number 7. Her teammate Bilquist finished first in the 200 backstroke. If you're new to skins, this is how it works. 8 start, only 4 will remain.
And we're going to be here the entire 3 rounds, 3 minutes between each round. Kromowidjojo already won the 50 fly earlier.
And again, from a team standpoint, you get 9 points for a win in this round. Toussaint looked like she was great underwater. Mack up in lane number 7. She jumped out to a start, and those two turned first. Mack and Toussaint, DC Train and the London Roar.
Boy, Toussaint, she can take a bath right now. Just let it warm down so easy.
She moves on. Who else will join her? Mack moves on. 2 from London Roar, and Kromowidjojo does just enough to advance.
But it's not even close. I don't know what Kira Toussaint did yesterday to go 26.6. How do you go 26.6 to 25.7? I mean, that's just unbelievable what she was able to do.
And that's only 1/100th off of what we saw Olivia Szmoliga do, which was the ISL record. That's how quick that 50 was, Rowdy.
Yeah, you know, when she went the 100 back earlier and went 56.2, she was 26.9 going out. And again, I go back to a 26.6 in the 50 back. So whatever she did as a mistake in the 50 backstroke, the coaches knew that. And, you know, that's why Melanie is such a brilliant coach, in the fact that she knew something was up, and long on the finish. I mean, she's capable of going even faster. Szmoliga still has that ISL record, but now Toussaint matches her lifetime best and is the 4th fastest swimmer in history. And that you can see right away the swimmers start to go into that warm down mode. And Kromowidjojo, she'll move on as well.
And she is still in contention to try to be the match MVP. She is currently the leader as far as that's concerned. And now this, Rowdy, this is the critical round. Can Mack punch her way through? Only 2 will survive the 2nd round.
You got this, all right? You got this. All right, last breaths, keep them coming in, keep breathing, nice and relaxed, all right? You got this? All right,
Get here, London Roar head coach Mel Marshall pumping up her team.
Coach Marshall has just done a spectacular job with this team this weekend. She and GM Rob Woodhouse, 2 brilliant strategicians. I mean, they just strategically, they just know exactly where to plug everybody in for the best matchups. Toussaint doesn't even look like she's tired, like she's coming in for the first one here, not even breathing hard.
Well, indeed, this is the one to push, because only 2 will survive. Only 2 will have a chance to be skins winner.
You gotta like Toussaint here. 2nd in the 200 backstroke. I know she's got a lot left in the tank. A little quicker into the water, but boy, she's got great reaction time. 0.49 off the blocks there for Toussaint. This one's a little tighter.
Yeah, looks like Mack is pushing the pace. Mack and Toussaint, they turn even, but everybody's right behind. Mack staying down. Mack looks a little bit fresher. Mack and Toussaint trying to move on. Oh, look at this. Round number 2 belongs to Mack from DC.
And Toussaint is out of it. Toussaint's out. She's out. Wow. She's out. 27.56 for Toussaint. She goes 25.75, and you can see the shock for everybody with London. They still have Kamenova that moves on, but I would have never picked in a million years for Toussaint to get third. No way. And all of them were much slower than they went in the first round. Komovajoyo was clearly fourth, but look at them charge to the wall here. And Toussaint is out, and Mack, that's why you take her off that off the 100 backstroke. Brilliant strategy. Yes, man. Caitlin Sandino, you guys knew exactly what you were doing. Taking her out of the 100 backstroke and gave her just a little bit more in that second round, Bernie.
And now they move on to the final round with a chance to really do some big things.
Yeah.
Kamenova
All right.
talking to Mel Marshall. 14 points
Big breeze.
goes to the winner of this round.
Listen. Tell her to breathe. Not much you can do. I mean, what can you do?
All right, just keep shaking the legs. All right, keep shaking the legs. All right, here we go.
Keep shaking the legs, trying to get the team behind her. You know, as much as I like Toussaint, and I was wrong, I like Mack. I'm afraid I'm going to jinx him, though, because I didn't see that coming. Not off the first 50, anyway. 25.7, 100th of a second off Smoliga, 4th fastest time in history. I mean, come on.
Well, DC Triton is a team, they have never won the skins as a team. They've got
a chance.
With Mack here.
They sure do. And you can see them both breathing hard. I mean, they are still trying to shake those cobwebs out. Mack, red cap.
Kamenova and Mack down to the final 50. Only one will be the skins winner and earn 14 points. And look at Mack surge out in front. She's fresh and ready to go and turns first. Kamenova trying to track her down.
About 0.2 of a second off the pace, and Mack's going to do it.
Mack in front. Kamenova.
No!
She is trying.
No!
Kamenova down the stretch. Mack ties up. Kamenova. London. They do it.
Can you believe that? What a skins burn. I thought Mack had it. She came off that wall and looked so good, but boy, as you were right, Bernie, she tightened up like there was no tomorrow. 28 flat. They were both hurting, but how about Kamenova, who nobody in this arena picked? Look, you can see Mack to the right. Clearly has the lead, had the better start, had the better charge into the turn. Watch her come off the wall too. Still looking great, goes to her side. You're telling me that Mack doesn't have it here, but lost the legs. Look at her legs, has no legs coming home. Shaking those legs, and look at the turnover. The turnover for Kamenova, and she wins the skins.
There is a look at how the skins break down. Kamenova getting the 14 points in the final round, but the big story, just getting back into the final, Rowdy, is the fact that we see DC Triton now hop in front of the Aqua Centurions. They have 339 points, and they've moved into third. That's how big that race was. London on top, but the DC try and surge on the back of Mack into third. All right, match 2 goes down to this. Skins battle coming up. 50 backstroke is the storyline. London leading 553 points, but on the back of Mack. DC trying now leading the Aqua Centurions by 4 points for third. And remember, that's still an extra point that they would score as a team at the end, because London is going to get 4 points. They're going to win this match. Looks like Team Iron, they're going to finish second, but the battle right now between the third and fourth place teams, and all eyes are going to be on Christian Diener and Guido. 3 and 4 for the London Roar. You would think that this is their event to dominate.
Well, you know, does Toussaint kind of give them a reminder? Just do what you need to do to get in that top 4. They really don't need to lay it out all out here in this first heat. Both of them could easily make it into the second round. It's all about managing each and every round.
And every point critical between DC Train and the Aqua Centurions. DC with a 4-point lead. Who is going to move on? Only 4 will survive this first round, and London looks really good the first 25.
Well, those are the 2 guys right there, but Bassetta went his best time yesterday, and he's way over to the right.
London moves on to Iron with 1, and DC Triton, they move 1 on as well.
And Diener barely got in there. I wouldn't say barely, 23-3, but that's perfect for Diener. I think he knows exactly what he did, and he learned from the mistake that Toussaint had earlier by laying all out that first 50. He knew that 1 through 4 was pretty set. He's not going to slip to 5th, and he didn't. 23-3, Revolta was 23-67. So he was a full 0.3 of a second ahead of Revolta.
And jackpot, it plays a part of the Skins. And look at that, Guido, 15 points. The rich keep getting richer. Yeah. London's already going to win this thing.
Now the question is, can Guido come back and do the same thing that Toussaint could not do?
Guilherme Basetto is going to be in lane number 3 for Team Iron. Guilherme Guido in 4, Christian Diener in 5, and Mark Nikolaev in lane number 6 for the DC Trident.
Nikolaev did a great job.
All right, got a minute. Do you want Amy to shake down your legs?
For DC Trident.
All right, let's go. Have fun.
This is head coach Cindy Gallagher urging him on, trying to make sure that DC Trident finishes 3rd.
The head coach and the trainer are the only two allowed to go to the swimmer in between each. All the swimmers attack it differently the second round. You can see Guido sits down, everybody else is standing up. I like you sitting down, lay off the legs. Get that blood out of your legs. Lactic acid is building up right now like there is no tomorrow. And here we go, round 2.
2 for London, 1 for Iron, 1 for DC Trident, and only 2 will survive and move on to the final round of the skins. Who will it be?
Tight at the start, Bernie. Dead even. 3 in the middle. Boy, they are very tight right now. The only one that looks out of it is Nikolaev.
But here comes London surging ahead. Basetto, though, maybe he has a chance down the stretch. Oh, it is London. Guido Diener onto the final.
4/100ths of a second over Basetto. Diener just squeezed in there. Guido certainly the class. I love the fact that these guys cannot celebrate. You got to go right into warming down, and the 2 teammates will go into it in 2 minutes and 7 seconds. And there's Guido on the start. Great start for him. The only guy to break 24 on that race. He was 23.96. Looks tight there with those 3 guys. And then he thought Basetto was coming back on him right there with 5 meters left. And just didn't quite have enough to get in there. Good swim, nice second swim for Basetto, but the roar, go roaring on to the last round.
And again, you get points for every round this year. That's one of the differences. It's not just a flat-out triple points possible. 9 points for first, 7 points for second in round number 2. But 14 big ones on the line to the winner here.
An MVP standings, Bernie, right? Huge factor could be here.
And a chance maybe for the winner to be the MVP. That could be big as well. Of course, you want to do it for your team, but you love to be the match MVP.
Money at stake, pride at stake, team at stake, individual at stake, 45 seconds. I love these skins, man. I really love them.
But the team that wins here is the London Roar, getting 2 out of the final.
Yeah, jackpot doesn't really matter here. Technically, there might be a jackpot, but it figuratively it really doesn't mean anything because it just goes to the same team.
Yeah, but even though they're teammates, you know they want to win this one.
Oh, yeah.
They got bragging rights for the week. All right, Guido Diener down to this. Who will be the skins winner in the backstroke? We're about to find out.
Coaches didn't even have to come up to him between that round. They just know. Hey guys, one more.
All right, here we go. Good start for Diener. He is crushing it, trying to be the match MVP. Diener in front by a big margin.
It's all Diener. No more gas in the tank for Guido.
Christian Diener, skins winner, match MVP for the London Roar, who win the match.
You know what the key there was? In those 3 races, it was all the very first race for Diener. He was just perfect on his strategy, did just enough to get in there into the final 4. Did just enough, just squeeze in there to the final 2. I mean, he played those cards perfectly. There's no doubt that he took a risk, especially in that second round. And how tight that second round was. But boy, what a race for him. Guido, just nothing left, nothing left.
Diener, the skins winner, and in fact, actually, we went back and retabulated the MVP, and it's Renomi Kromowidjojo who gets the MVP for Team Iron. What a big final day she had, scoring 57 points. Diener second in the MVP, and Szabo third overall, but it's London who wins it, 610 points. Iron second, DC trying to wind up third, and the Aqua Centurions earning 1 point for fourth. What a great start to ISL 2020.
Are we only 4 days in? I could go another 4 days. Let's don't have an off day tomorrow. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we gotta wait till Saturday. Tokyo Frog Kings, Toronto Titans, they make their debut right here in Budapest, 12 local. For Mark Foster, Roddy Gaines, and our entire ISL crew, I am Bernie Gunther saying so long from Budapest. London roaring to the win today.
They'll break the Centurions, they'll be back bigger and better, no doubt as well. And look at the lineup of London Roar starting up there, the MVP, Toussaint, Russell, Cameron Neighbour, brilliant, the 100 on hand, and so too the skins. Zach Apple with the start, that's right, that ridiculous relay split, in the 100, he helped the 4x1 mix to that victory, hitting a Mac, fantastic addition to the trident as well. And all of a sudden, the trident with a big chance as well to get into those semi-finals. It's been a fantastic match too. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, we're back in action here at the Duna Arena, match 3, October 24th, 12 to 2 p.m. That's the first day. Second day, October 25, 5 to 7 p.m. Now 14, the Aqua Centurions will be back in action against 2 of our new teams for season 2020, the Tokyo Frog Kings and the Toronto Titans make their first ever appearance, and they'll be joined by LA Current. So on behalf of the entire Isl Budapest team, hope you enjoyed match 2 here from Duna.